Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to create a graffiti stencil. And you've got two types to choose from. You've got a smiley face or a rose, okay? So choose one of these that has been laid out on your tables, and then we're going to start. What else you need is some paint and a paintbrush with maybe some water, some blue roll just to dry your paintbrush on, your sketchbook, and a cutting knife. So you can see here, I've already started to create and cut out my rose. I've just got one leaf left. So making sure that you're using a cutting board with your cutting knife. Once you take off the top, make sure that you are aiming away from any fingers or yourself, just in case you slip. When you're holding the paper, you want to make sure that you're not holding it underneath the knife. You're holding it above so that it's going in the opposite direction. And you're holding your paper nice and firm. And you're just cutting as best as you can. Now, you can tell it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? The picture is just a guideline for you to cut with. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can see where I haven't caught all of the black. But as long as it's resembling the image in some way, then that's fine. Once you've cut out your image, you're going to get your sketchbook under today's date and title, and you're going to start applying paint to your stencil so that it creates that rose underneath. Now, what I've decided to do is stick down some brown paper just to make it a bit more visually interesting. If you want some brown paper or some coloured crepe paper, I can provide that. Or if you want to colour the background first, that's completely up to you. Now, the first thing you're going to do is dry off your paintbrush. Obviously, we want to make sure it's clean, but we don't want to soak up too much water and wet your stencil too much. Then you're going to dip it into your paint, and you can use stencils either with paint, with spray paint, with a lot of different mediums and materials to get this effect. But today we are using paint. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to start applying your paint onto your stencil. Now, I quite like the dabbing motion with a bit of a sweeping motion. Trying to be nice and delicate because you're trying not to get the paint to go under your stencil. Try and keep it down as much as you can. You can see how fast this technique is. And then after that, you just want to bring up your stencil nice and fast. And you can see I've got a really nice clean image there. Now you can see in some areas where I did accidentally slip it a little bit. That's okay. What you can do then is maybe go in and do a couple more stencils or swap with someone on your table that has a different stencil and create an overlap.